Hey everybody, Momza here on this Tuesday. Hoping you are all having a good day. It has been very rainy here in Southwest Ohio, so the rain was a little bit needed, but I don't know if I needed that much rain today. So I wanted to get in a bourbon review for today, and the one that I've chosen, and you might see these a little more frequently over the next few weeks because I'm trying to decrease how many bottles of bourbon I need to move when I move at the end of the month. So I'm starting to get into some that I haven't been into for a while. So the bottles are going to be probably, closer to being empty. And besides that, I kind of need a warm up before I tune in to Whiskey Weather's live stream at 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight. So what I've decided to do was pick one of my all-time favorites. Well, let me backtrack that a little bit. It's definitely a favorite. I won't say it's an all-time favorite, but I specifically wanted to highlight this because I've spoke about how much I enjoy rye whiskeys. And this one that I've come up with, I think, is a great beginner rye. I honestly, if I remember correctly, it kind of kicked me off on my own rye journey, and that is Jefferson's straight rye whiskey. Now, it is a whiskey because it's only coming in at 88 proof. And this one was a little bit difficult to find some information as far as the mash bill goes. The best that I came up with doing some research is that it's basically a blend of straight rye. Let's try that again. It's basically a blend of straight rye whiskeys. Say that 3 times fast. That are aged for 6, 7, and 9 years. Now, during my research, it specifically stated that the mash bill is not disclosed. No matter how hard I tried to find it, there was nothing that I came across. I think even when I went to Jefferson's website themselves, there is no mash bill disclosure at all. The other thing I like about this, if you're new to ryes and you're not sure if you like them, is this comes in at a really great MSRP. I believe I got it right around $35 to $40. So I think that's a great. It's also, a lower proof. It comes in at 88 proof. So, on the lower end of the spectrum, when it comes to whiskeys and bourbons. But if you're new to bourbon, if you're new and haven't tried ryes, this would be, in my humble opinion, a great one to get started with, to see, how much you do or don't, enjoy rye blended whiskeys and bourbons. Again, I'm really starting to find out that I enjoy them quite a bit. Because again, I've said it a few times in my videos, and I'll say it again in case you're new here. I just feel like that there's a lot more, flavors that I can pick up, not only on the palate, but even on the nose. Like I haven't even put this up to my nose yet, and I can already get a sense of, this spicy herbalness to it. It's very sweet. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of barrel char, but it's to me it comes across very more herbally and spicy and sweet on the nose. This was one of the first ones that really kind of blew my mind when I tasted it and got that, oh my God, I'm tasting, mint or spearmint or whatever. So I'm going to dive right into this. right away, you're hit with like a pepper. And again, you'll find that it's going to be pepper, unless it's something that I can distinctly pick out as being black pepper. I just don't have the palate yet to distinguish between white and black pepper. So right away you get that pepper, but then it's immediately followed by this hint of cinnamon, a little bit of butterscotch. It's got a creamy texture to it. And obviously you're going to get that rye spice too, but it's not an overwhelming rye spice, considering especially part of this mash bill has, a 9-year rye in it. As you sit and you let it sit on the palate and finish, it is medium, I would say, in length, for me anyway. I get, again, that mint, that spearmint, peppermint, we'll just say mint, because everybody may, taste it a little differently than I do. The spice stays, but there's a lingering sweetness to it as well. I love this. It is just so good. I was blown away the first time I ever tried it. Now, the other thing I noticed in some of my, doing a little bit of research, and this may be a little off-putting to some, but this is, again, this is a great introductory rye whiskey, I feel, to try. But considering it's, got some blends of a Canadian component, according to my research, I know that can possibly be a little off-putting, because I guess sometimes, and I've never experienced it, and I'm a huge Crown Royal drinker, still to this day. I never really noticed that, a metallic, I've heard people talk about, Canadian whiskeys being that way. I don't necessarily pick that up with a Jefferson straight rye whiskey. To me, it drinks more, American whiskey, if you will. And because the mash bill is undisclosed, who knows how much, Canadian blend is in this. Again, this comes in at a really reasonable MSRP. I know I didn't pay more than $40 for the bottle. I know for some people it could be a little off-putting because it's only 88 proof, but again, I'm suggesting this as a beginner to get into rye whiskeys. You can't beat the MSRP for it. You can't beat the fact that it's just 88 proof. And honestly, for it to be such a low MSRP and a low proof, this whiskey, this rye whiskey, is, in my opinion, just fantastic. I'm in the process of starting to, as I do these bourbon reviews, get my top 10 list together that I'll drop sometime in December. If it wasn't for the fact of I know of one other one, but hey, I can have more than one rye in the top 10. This one still stands a real chance of being in my top 10 of 2025, being new and just really starting this journey in January. Now, the other thing I will say is, if you remember, I talked about the limestone mixing water, that has to be limestone filtered. Use that. A drop of that, and here really, really starts to bring that mint and vanilla and butterscotch notes all together, and really just adds to it. So yeah, that would be my suggestion, being new into the bourbon community, taking it seriously since the beginning of this year. If you want to try a rye, it comes in at a great MSRP, so that, if you don't like it, then, you're not out more than $40. I would highly suggest Jefferson Straight Rye Whiskey. And as always, don't forget the Hang Light Gummies referral code in my profile up at the top. There's a discount code as well of Kim10 that'll get you 10% off your order. So since I have discovered these on any occasion that I know that I might be on the verge of not feeling great the next day, I pop one of these Hang Light gummies, and I have yet to wake up with a hangover if I take these. So, check them out. Again, still working with Present to try and get, some samples. But, again, I kind of took a week off, so I need to get back on that and I'm trying to move. So, but I would recommend it. I will drop a link for Jefferson's in the comments. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Jefferson's, but, just in case somebody isn't, I want to make it convenient for them to go in and check it out. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. And as always, drink responsibly. Cheers.